Active Directory certificates are critical attack vectors for cyber threat actors to compromise systems. In this video, we will show how PICUS attack path validation compromises the domain admin account with its intelligent adversary decision engine and Active Directory certificate service abuse techniques. This video reveals how PICUS attack path validation successfully achieves the objective throughout the assessment named SIM03. The first page is the one containing the summary of the assessment. The summary section contains key information about the assessment. It displays the start time and duration, the number of actions involved, the initial computer, and whether offline password cracking was activated. In the simulation overview section, the results of the key steps taken during the assessment are summarized. Each technique used is provided in detail under its corresponding tactic. In the discovery tactic, the information gathering steps performed during the simulation are listed. Information has been gathered indicating that the user Deli Catherine has a service principal name, record, and a TGS ticket has been obtained. In the following paragraph, it is mentioned that an offline password cracking operation was performed on the user Deli Catherine's ticket, resulting in the retrieval of the user's plaintext password. The subsequent paragraphs describe how the key users were obtained to achieve the objective. In the credential access section, how the newly compromised user accounts were obtained is explained. For instance, on the system Workstation 28, the RDP credential dumping technique was performed, resulting in the compromise of a user's information. The lateral movement section indicates that 2 of the lateral movement attempts were successful. For example, the user Deli Catherine was compromised through the Kerberoasting technique, and then a lateral movement attempt was made from the machine Workstation 23 to the machine Workstation 28. Additionally, unsuccessful lateral movement attempts are also shown in this section. The map page presents the details of all the steps carried out throughout the assessment and illustrates the assessment path. This page essentially consists of 2 sections. The first section is the activity feed, which is seen on the left side of the screen, while the second section is the map area that fills the center of the screen. These details are the name of the action, the execution time, the computer on which it was executed, and findings as a result of the action. First thing first, the assessment flow starts by gathering information about the target domain. Then, all gathered data are processed by the advanced decision engine to decide the next steps, which can be collecting more information or attempting to access another resource in the domain. Thus, the attack paths through to domain-level privileges are created wisely. In the activity feed section, the first action assessed as critical is the Kerberoasting action. As a result of the Kerberoasting action, one user's Kerberos ticket was compromised. Using the offline password cracking feature, the user's password in plaintext was retrieved. As a result of the action named Active Directory Certificate Template Enumeration, one vulnerable certificate template named VPN Certificate has been identified. The VPN certificate template contains vulnerabilities coded as ESC1 and ESC2. By clicking on this template, it can be seen which users are able to exploit it. If we follow the assessment on the map, it can be seen that a lateral movement attempt was made towards the machine Workstation 28. Looking at the action details, it is evident that a lateral movement attempt was made to the system Workstation 28 using the Deli Catherine user account. Based on the findings from the machine Workstation 28, the LSAS process memory dumping action has resulted in the acquisition of information for one new user. The SAM database dumping action has yielded information for 2 new local users, and the LSA credential cache dumping action has provided information for 2 users. And the RDP credentials dumping from memory action has resulted in the retrieval of one user's plaintext password. Using the user Diane.bird account obtained from the RDP credentials dumping from memory action, a lateral movement attempt was made to the system Workstation 17 via protocol SMB. Lastly, the objective was achieved by exploiting the vulnerabilities in Active Directory Certificate Service. The VPN certificate template contained a vulnerability coded as ESC1. This vulnerability was exploited while having system privileges on the system workstation 17. As a result of this action, a certificate was issued in the name of the domain controller, DC01. By using the certificate issued in the name of DC01, a Kerberos ticket was requested for DC01, granting access to DC01 privileges. Consequently, the entire domain has been compromised. Using the feature offline password cracking, attempts were made to crack passwords for 3 different users. One of the hash types is KRB5TGS, while the remaining 2 hash types are MSCashV2, resulting in the retrieval of the user Deli Catherine's password in plaintext. The attack path page aims to summarize the actions that are taken to achieve the objective for the assessments. Beyond the statistical data provided in the right side section, executed actions and their findings are crucial to see the attack path as a whole. This example indicates that only 9 steps were sufficient to achieve the objective from the initial access user and system. In the initial steps, domain-level enumeration steps were performed to find out as much information as possible. The first card reveals detailed insights into how much of the collected data was instrumental throughout the assessment. Overall, information related to 3 workstations and 3 user accounts was used to successfully compromise the system. Kerberoastable users were identified in the early stages of domain enumerations. Kerberoasting attack vector was used to acquire the encrypted service ticket, TGS, of the user Deli Catherine. Then, the offline password cracking feature successfully cracked the encrypted ticket to obtain the plaintext form of the password. The configurations of the certificate templates used in Active Directory certificate service were examined. As a result, vulnerabilities coded as ESC1 and ESC2 were identified in the VPN certificate template. Using the obtained user account, a successful lateral movement attempt was made towards the system workstation 28. The passwords of users with RDP sessions on the access system were retrieved in plaintext. Access to the privileges of the user Diane Bird was obtained using the user's plaintext password. In the next step, access to the system workstation 17 was gained using the user account Diane Bird. It was previously identified that the system workstation 17 could utilize the certificate template named VPN certificate. At this step, since access to the system workstation 17 was obtained, a certificate was acquired in the name of DC01, one of the domain controllers, using this template. At this step, by using the acquired certificate, access to DC01 privileges was gained, thus achieving the objective. That wraps up our demonstration of how PICUS attack path validation compromises domain admin with Active Directory certificate services abuse techniques. We hope this video has provided valuable insights into how attack path validation can effectively replicate real-world attack scenarios without harming your production environment. Stay safe and secure, and I will see you in the next video.